Welcome along to Clan Wars 37 here in the beautiful Belfast. My name is Noel O'Keefe and I am joined as always by Irish Thunder Phil Campbell, and we're delighted to say we are joined by 3-0 Cage Warriors welterweight Ian Garry. The relevance for Ian Garry: Ian started his amateur career here at Clan Wars. Now, as I said, 3-0 in Cage Warriors and one of the biggest prospects in Irish MMA. So Ian, just to lead with you first before we dive into the card, how vital was Clan Wars for you, getting you ready for the pro ranks?
Clan Wars was massive for me. They gave me the platform to step up and fight 3 times. When Irish MMA was kind of at a standstill, so they were still putting on shows, and it's held the kind of platform at the top of the Irish MMA. It's probably the best show out there. It's the most consistent show out there, and they're bringing lads from every country, every county in Ireland to come up here and fight, and it's amazing. They put on a great show every time. Stacked card, great lads. I think there's 18 fights on tonight. So for me, they had a massive part. Obviously my debut, and then I fought twice on the card afterwards. But it's just been amazing for me, and they're just so consistent, so well run, and it's a great platform for young amateur fighters to come in and early pros to step up and get a fight and enjoy it, because that's what it's all about.
We know your aspirations are to eventually lift UFC gold. You are lined up to fight in Cage Warriors London and Cage Warriors Belfast. No news on the opponent yet, but from what I take watching the interviews, it doesn't matter who the body is standing across the cage, right?
No, never does. To be honest, it's the same outcome every time. My hand's getting raised, whether it's me, it's one guy the next week, it's another guy the next week. It doesn't really make a difference. I train to better myself and with my club to bring my game to the next level, not to prepare for anyone. So if anybody wants it, they know where I am. I'll be there, and that's about it. But I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great show, a great card, and a big night to make a statement again.
Speaking of a great show and a great card, let's delve into the card tonight, Phil Campbell. We have the bantamweight title on the line. Calma taking on El Guapo Matthew Frill. This is a great matchup, but tell us a little bit why this is such a good matchup and worthy of a Clan Wars belt.
Well, what I think makes this fight so interesting is both these guys are competitors and champions at 125 pounds. You're taking away that anomaly of the weight cut. They're going up, they don't have to cut as much weight. I think this is going to make for an optimum performance from both men. The belt's vacant, therefore both men are going in with the opportunity. They have that motivation to lift the belt and become a 2-time champion in 2 separate weight divisions. It's huge.
Yeah, massive.
One I'll throw to you straight away is somebody you are very familiar with. You may have worn a few scars in the gym from this gentleman. Making his pro debut tonight is Callum Liston, taking on Mark Alvin. And for people who may not understand or know Irish MMA, this is 2 of the best amateur fighters stepping into the pro ranks. What has Callum done potentially different to step into the pro ranks?
Well, firstly, this is the fight of the night in my opinion. I think when you look at the entire card, these are the 2 best athletes on the card. Just their sheer performances in the cage, they've both been exceptional to amateur, so it's going to be a big matchup. But Callum's taken a lot more kind of slow. He's just tweaked a couple of skills that he's needed to, because his game is very well rounded and it's very awkward, and he's very slow style, so the pro 5-minute rounds are going to suit him more, give him more chance to tire someone out and finish them in the later 2 minutes of the round. So Mark's not going to be an easy test, and it's going to be a great fight. It's my fight tonight in my personal opinion, but it's going to be a war, and look, it's going to be a battle of grappling. They're both exceptional grapplers, so it's going to be fun to see the exchanges and the scrambles.
That's a good point, Phil. Mark Alvin, as you said, could be a grappling exchange. Normally when we see 2 elite grapplers go against each other, we end up seeing a rock'em sock'em robots fight, but what can we expect to see from Galvin in this one, Phil?
Galvin, as we know, he's the #1 ranked welterweight, the amateur welterweight in the country. He's making a step down to super lightweight, whereas Callum Liston is making the step up, formerly competing at 70 kilos. So that's another interesting dynamic. But I fully expect Galvin to use his strikes to clinch and try and dominate those clinching exchanges.
Another pro bout on the evening is Ty Glenanne taking on Dave Thrill Hill. Again, this is interesting because teammates of both you gentlemen, so we may have a fight here before we kick off. But Ty Glenanne, let's start there. Only recently joined Team KF as well, so what new wrinkles are we expecting to see in the Glenanne game?
Well, look, we're doing great things at Team KF, so just again tweaking a few things, adding a couple of little skill sets against the cage and out in the open that we at Team KF all train. Obviously, every gym has their own kind of strengths, so it's just him implementing what we do well and where we can kind of win the game And if he does that, I mean, he should come out with the win. It's not an easy matchup. It never will be when you come to Calma Wars. They don't put on easy fights. So it's going to be a great fight. And look, Dave's going to bring it to him, and he's got to be ready for it. But I think if he does everything that he's worked on, should be very well.
Moving on to the super welterweight title, and Troy Boy Gibson is defending that title against Patton. So, Phil, again, another teammate of yours, Troy Boy Gibson, excellent amateur, obviously a champion and rightfully so. Talk to us a little bit about the game and what you've seen that perhaps you could bring into the cage here tonight.
Troy Gibson has gone through the gambit as a young mixed martial artist. He had a devastating injury which he came back from, and at the age of only 24 he's already dealt with that. What we see every time Troy steps into the cage is an evolutionary step. We see his striking getting that little bit tighter. He spent more time on his grappling at IFS and at Forge grappling, so that's another wrinkle he has to his game, just broadening everything out, and when he puts that together, I think he's the best amateur welterweight in the country.
They are fair points. The featherweight division, we talked about what you felt the best fight in the card was. For me, this has gone under the radar with how stacked of a card this is. Two absolutely elite strikers with KO power. Tiernan Loughnane taking on Carl Cub McBlain. This is a firefight. You only have to see Loughnan's fights to understand that. Almost like heavyweight boxing we just witnessed. The lights can go out at any time here. What's your thoughts on this one, Ian?
So, the fight tonight was Alvin and Gibson. I think this has the potential to be like KO tonight and just performance tonight. I don't think these guys are coming in here to hug each other and put each other up against the cage. They're looking to put each other out on the feet. They're both great strikers. They both have knockout power, and I would be very surprised if either of these take a back step in this fight. So you're right, it's gone under the radar, but it's a great scrap.
At the weigh-ins yesterday, there was a little bit of niggle, Phil. You were there. Was it intensified, or is it just good rivalry for competition?
Well, I think Loughnane by name, Loughnane by nature. Tiernan, obviously the younger brother of Keelan, they have this ability just with their presence to rub people up the wrong way, and that's entirely by design. Speaking to them individually, lovely guys, but when they get into that fight modality, the chest comes up a little bit, the chin's raised a little bit, the shoulders are up, so they have that ability to get underneath the skin of their opponent. So I would say the psychological edge thus far has gone to Tiernan.
Co-main event of the evening sees Dara Kelly taking on the champion, Carl Gallaher, who was the featherweight title champion. And weirdly coming into this one, a lot of people are thinking Kelly is a clear favourite. So I want to speak to you on that point, Phil. You sat down with Kelly in the lead up to this one, and he done nothing but exude confidence. Is he too overconfident?
I don't think it's... If it was confidence that he was putting on, but this is genuine confidence in his own ability. The fact that he's already beaten Carl Gallaher in the Calma Wars cage back at Calma Wars 33 is a feather in his cap. But as we know, especially in amateur MMA, fighters are evolving at an exponential rate. Carl Gallaher, a teammate of yours, every time we've seen him in the cage has got better and better and is developing his game.
And what do you think about that, about the favouritism for Kelly here? Are people just overlooking Carl Gallaher, who is the champion? Worth noting, won the belt the last time and went to Metallica and Slain straight after. So he is a high-level fighter, but is he being disrespected too much here?
No, I don't think so. I think Kelly has every right to be confident. I mean, if I beat someone personally and I'm fighting them again in a rematch, I'm going to be confident because I've already dealt with them once. But as you said, amateur fighters, you give an amateur fighter 6 weeks, their whole game could change. Carl's a very dangerous opponent. I mean, he's an exceptional grappler. His pace is exceptional. He controls positions and he tires people out. And Dara's got to look out for that. I mean, Dara's a great fighter, so he has every chance of beating Carl. But it's going to be it's going to be another really, really good scrap, and it's going to be more technical than it will be kind of brute force.
Main event of the evening is a welterweight title defence for Marek Tchaikovsky. You can tell this man, he has fought in this cage many a times. The experience is there. You want to talk experience? Chris Hurricane Gale. He's doing it for us old guys. I hope he doesn't mind me saying that. 48 years young. Looks like a specimen on the scales yesterday. What way do we see this one going, and what path to victory does either have, Phil?
I think this is really going to be all about the clinch. Marek spent time in his native Poland. Fantastic wrestler. Chris Gill, a former national judo champion, a judo black belt, a freestyle wrestling medalist. So I think whoever dominates the clinches in this particular fight will be the one that wins.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is your Clan Wars 37 card. Ian, Gary, thank you for joining us. We wish you the best of luck in London, Belfast, and perhaps in Dublin in August. Who knows? But ladies and gentlemen, sit back, get comfortable, and enjoy Clan Wars 37.